So, I think it was a tale of two halves. I was, reasonably pleased with a lot of things that we did pretty well in the first half, and then I thought in the second half we didn't do some of those same things that got us a double-digit lead. But all in all, I think going into this holiday tomorrow to be 4-1 is something that we're thankful for sure. And I think there's a lot for us to build on. I thought obviously we had some positive contributions from a lot of guys again, and we're going to need to continue to get better. And that's what I keep stressing with this group is that we are a work in progress. We realize that, but we need to get better, and there's some things we certainly need to do as a team.
I mean, when's the last time this team's been this confident, in your opinion?
In a row? Yeah. Well, I said that, to my group, to my team right before we went out there, that we're playing to be 4-1. And it's been a while since we've done that. I think my third year here, and obviously in year 7, but my third year we got off to a fantastic start. And 4-1 is significant given the youthfulness of our group and so many contributions from players that weren't counted on a year ago and really only playing 2 juniors to date. So, we're grateful that we have the record, but we recognize that there's a lot of work to do going forward. There's a lot of challenges in front of us, but I think this group is bonding really well, and I think we're starting to share the ball a little better, and there's certainly things we've got to do better.
Coach, last year you were 2-5 going into Thanksgiving, and you had only 1 home game at that point. How important were the 5 home games?
So, yeah, we talk about that here in Harrisonburg a bunch. I think home games at our level are critical, especially when you have a young team. I think once you have all seniors and juniors, it's a little bit different. When you've been through all the wars and you learn what it takes to win on the road. But first you have to learn how to win, and we thought it was critical that this team had home games. And who knows what our season would have been like last year had we had more home games. But we're faced with a lot of injuries this year already. We've had a lot of guys out. We've had 2 guys out for other reasons, but we feel like we're getting close to a full team. And with the home games and a full team, we like the vibe that this team is now playing with.
Obviously, you guys will be big underdogs on Friday. What are you looking to get out of this game?
Well, we're looking to be as absolutely competitive as we can be. I think the number one thing is to not get involved in the tempo of the game that Ohio State wants to play at. The great challenge here is to not turn the ball over an excessive amount of times and give them opportunities on them with their athletes running at you. So we've got to make strides as a basketball team in terms of taking care of the ball, shot selection, and being really tough-minded at the other end of the court, because this is a team that has so many weapons and really high-level weapons that this is a great challenge in front of us. But our kids are really excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of athleticism, is this pretty much the best opponent you're going to face?
Ohio State? Well, you know what? I haven't watched a whole lot of Ohio State. I was more concerned about this particular game. This is what I'll tell you about Virginia. We played Virginia last year, and I predicted to my staff, and I was kind of booed on this. I thought they'd make it to the Sweet 16. I think this year's Virginia team has a chance to go farther in the NCAA tournament. They may not win an ACC championship, but I think this year's Virginia team has a chance to go to the Elite Eight. And if they get the right draw, Virginia's got a chance to maybe go to the Final Four. They're that talented. I haven't seen Ohio State yet, but I know that they're awful dynamic offensively, and they're playing much different than they have in the past. So I would say probably comparable level.
You get Andre back on
tomorrow? Yeah, now he's out now, able and eligible to play. Starting.
What role would he be having on the team?
Well, he's going to come off the bench initially, and then we'll figure out the role. But our 3 starting guards tonight played 38, 38, and 33 minutes. Those minutes go down significantly for those 3 guys. And then we add an injured point guard who's a very dynamic, young, precocious young point guard back in 2 more weeks. And it gives us great flexibility in the backcourt. I mean, I really like that backcourt with Andre and Joey McClain, and we won't have to be as winded. But our Andre Nation gives us 2 things really immediately. He has the potential to be the best defensive wing in our league in the CAA. He is a high-level defensive kind of variable on the court, and he's a very good passer. So as long as he does those 2 things, we get better at each end of the court just with those 2 things with Andre. Well, what I'm thankful for is that, they kind of ganged up on Yohani and made it hard on him. Every time he caught the ball, there was a second guy, and so you need somebody else to step up in the front court. I thought that Tom Vodanovich, 4 for 5 from the field, 4 for 6 from the foul line, so 12 points. Not as many rebounds as we need from Tom, but, we need two of those forwards to play pretty well. And I'm really eager to see Hari Hall make another jump at the defensive end, because I thought in the first half he gave us a really nice, kind of jolt off the bench, 7.6 rebounds at half. That's significant for a freshman to be able to do that, and he's got that kind of ability. But he needs to catch up to the speed of the game at the defensive end, and I think he will. And so that's a good group of young forwards that we have. We need them to play consistently, but I don't know that any of them are going to be consistent game in and game out. Okay. All right. Good.